Welcome on in, everyone. We are back, the cousins. This is Beer Talk with Kyle and Joe. I'm Kyle.
What's up, guys? My name's Joe.
Welcome back to a channel for yet another review. Today, we have a great review for you today. We're going to be talking about 8-Bit Beard Co. This is a company that we've heard a lot about. Definitely came out the gate. I don't know, what's the word? Came out the gate running?
Running, hot.
It came out the gate hot. Okay, I like that better. So we're really excited about this one. We've had the pleasure of talking with the owner, Sean, quite a bit. Just an incredible guy, awesome family man. Really enjoyed talking with him, getting to know him. This is an Ohio-based company, which is near and dear to our hearts, which Joe and I, of course, are born and raised in Ohio. So just a real little bit about the company. They are a 8-Bit Beard Co. is a Nintendo or game console video game themed company, which is really cool, makes it stand out. Sean says he really wants to bring the aspect of family and fun to his company, which we respect the heck out of. And actually they started off as a different company, and after about 9 or 10 months did a complete rebrand, and here we have 8-Bit Beard Co.
Right. Yeah, and we're excited to dive into this actual rebrand. I, for one, definitely love the theme. I know we've talked about companies who have like movie and television show themes and things like that, and how much we love that. Well, I wouldn't call myself a big video gamer, but I do play enough to really appreciate this kind of inspiration for a company. So I'm really excited to dive into it. But if you haven't done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you leave a comment. If you've tried 8-Bit Beard Company, let us know what you think. And if this is something that you are looking to try, I'm curious to see what really piqued your interest. So hang tight after this intro, and we'll be right back.
All right, y'all, welcome back from the intro. Let's go ahead and dive right into these products because we're super excited to do so. All right, so for a 1 ounce oil, you are looking at $20. For a 2 ounce butter, you are looking at $22. Two quick things about when it comes to pricing with 8-Bit. They do have combos to make it $38 for an oil and a butter combo to make it cheaper. Also, Joe and I looked on the site a few times. Sean didn't tell us this, but by looking on the site, it looks like shipping is free. That's a huge jump off point right there. Everyone knows what's going on with shipping these days. It's expensive, it's slow. So that's something that's really cool that the company offers. Joe, what do you think about the prices?
Yeah, and then one other item that we're going to talk about is his pine tar soap that he has as well, and that is for $6. But yeah, I think at first glance, when you see that $22 range, I think it's only natural that a person kind of hits the brake a little bit, but when you get that free shipping aspect of it, I really think it evens it out. So really, I mean, I think the price really drops down to maybe just a hair over market average. So I'm a fan of the prices.
Right. Yeah, it's right there. And again, I didn't see free shipping, but Joe and I were playing with it a few times. It looks like there's free shipping. So if we're wrong on that, please let us know in the comments below. But that was from our experiences. All right, let's jump right into this presentation. I've been waiting for this review because I wanted to talk about this. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and show these off here. That is what that looks like. And it is such a unique label. We hear from companies all the time, what do I need to do? And the answer is always the same: stand out. These labels, just the overall look. I mean, look at the restrictor or dropper top, if you will, restrictor top, however you want to say that. It is just so different from anything you've seen. So the presentation to the eye right off the bat, absolutely love it. Love the theme, love everything they're doing. Love the smoky amber bottle. The only thing I was concerned about is some dropper tops that look like, I've never seen these exact ones, but ones that look similar, the oil comes out really slow. But although this will prevent 100% of spills, I didn't have an issue. What I did, and it's going to sound funny, but I use a lot of oil, is instead of going like this, I actually held it between my pointer and my middle finger, and then with my thumb, just kept tapping it, and it came out at a perfect amount. Do you know what I mean, Joe? You know some of those restrictors that just so slow, drives you crazy? This one I really liked.
if you try to shake it to get the oil out, you're not going to get anything out.
Okay,
That's just how the restrictor top is.
cool.
Really, the best thing for me, the best thing to do was to give it a good shake and then give it that one tap, and then it would kind of have that slow drip
Yeah.
there. The one thing that I noticed, although the speed of the drip was to me very slow, and if this was, if I was in a rush in the morning, I don't know if this would be a product that I would go to because of how slow that drip was. But I
Interesting.
will say though, the amount of oil you get per drip is kind of big. So it does fill up into your hand pretty
Yeah.
quick to kind of make up for that speed. But I wasn't too big of a fan of the restrictor top. I did think that it just came out too slow for me. The one thing that I did notice on the site is he actually offers a dropper, standard dropper that you
Oh.
can get. It's actually, but the thing is though, is it's actually $1 extra. So I know
Oh.
some
Okay.
companies allow you to choose which top you would like to get. For this, it seems like you get the restrictor top automatically, but you do have a choice to get the dropper. Me personally, I would
Okay.
recommend just getting the dropper, just because I don't, sometimes I just didn't have the time to really just wait for the amount of oil that I needed.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why I mentioned before. You got to find your technique with some dropper tops. But
yeah,
either way, we
yeah,
digest.
right,
Enough about the dropper tops.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about these scents.
Mhm.
So these were two interesting, similar scents, but at the same time had some differences here. So the ones that we have here, let's go ahead and start one at a time here. So the first one that I want to dive into is the Hero of Time. We'll go ahead and show that off. Really cool label again with that 8-bit looking like a Nintendo theme and a video game theme, which is really cool. One shout out to Sean and 8-bit. I absolutely love. I wish all companies would do this. It has the oil ingredients, it has the name, obviously
Mhm.
the color, but also it has the scent profile. I
Yeah,
just really appreciate that. I have a lot of product. I want to know what's in there.
yeah.
So the Hero of Time is amber, oak, and bergamot.
Mhm.
Joe, do you want to kick us off? Let us know what you thought.
Yeah, so and I think we should definitely just go back to back on these scents because both of these scents are like a pretty strong amber based type scent. But yeah, starting off with this one,
Yeah.
I really thought that, and we were talking a little bit about this before we hit the record button, was that the oak did pop out quite a bit. And you had mentioned that it added like a smoky element to it.
Yeah.
And I would say that I would agree with that. I definitely get the amber and the bergamot as well. The bergamot's nice because it adds that little citrus touch to it, but it's not going to stand out. I think the oak does overpower that a little bit, but the amber on this one really does stand out. I think this is a good time amber type scent. I know a lot of the ambers that I like are used a lot for like nighttime type scents. So I thought that this was a unique way to do it. Was it a scent that blew me out of the water? No, I liked it. It was well formulated. It's a very safe scent. So for a launch, he only has a few scents out. I really think he played it safe with that one, as I actually do with the next one, that we'll cover as well. But by no means was it executed bad by any means. They're good, just nothing that like blew me out of the water.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good. I guess same thing, really. Good, didn't blow me out of the water. It did have that smoky aspect to it, so I kind of have to be in the mood for the Hero of Time, but it was good. I have no issue with it. The one that I really enjoyed is the Spirit Maiden, and that's the one that I showed off before.
Yeah.
So this one is sweet amber, cedar, and sage.
Mhm.
Now, what I really like about this one, it's similar, but the amber's used completely different. This one's
Mhm.
almost like a sweeter, outdoorsy cologne type. This one definitely, I would imagine, piques people's interest more. Do you agree with me, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sweeter. So having him put sweet amber on there to kind of make it a little bit different than the other one that we talked about, I do think that he actually stayed true to that and made this definitely a sweeter scent. Do I still get some similarities between the two? Absolutely. Again, it was another well executed scent. The cedar and the sage. I get a little bit, not as much as I thought I would. Sage is something to me that always seems like it stands out. And sometimes it's one of those scents that can kind of take over a little bit. I actually didn't get the sage at all, which was a little disappointing because I was kind of curious to see how the sage would really change up that amber. But that just didn't come out for me too much. But again, it's still like, I mean, it still smells good. I loved wearing this one at night, in particularly. In the butter, I think the amber is very strong, and you get a good sweetness to it, and something that I really love falling asleep to. So I actually liked it a lot better in the butter than I did in the oil, and I would say the same thing for the hero of time as well. I preferred the scents in the butter over the oils.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have one more scent to go over. I actually don't have it in front of me. I'm wearing it right now, and it's in the bathroom. Joe, do you mind showing that off?
Yep. And that is the collaboration that 8-Bit did with our good buddy Josh over at um, Embrace the Beard Life. And that is called the Blue Devil. And this is a tropical leather scent. So Kyle, go ahead, since you're wearing it right now.
Yeah.
What's your experience like right now?
Yeah, so this is an awesome scent. If you would say like tropical and leather, I'd be like, I want to try it because that sounds really unique. But it's exactly like you would imagine. It's almost like fruit punch meets leather, and the combination is really smooth. That's really the word that I would use to describe it. Um, and it's a really pleasant scent. I like it because to me it screams summertime and like daylight and stuff like that. Like a bright nice summer day being outside. But no, I really like it. What do you think,
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah. So what I was trying to do there is because I wanted to smell it on my hand again because it's been a couple days, and I
Mhm.
wanted to show off kind of what we were talking about with that dropper. So you guys saw, like, you put that thing upside down, nothing's gonna come out until you give it a little shake.
Yeah, you got to give it the tap.
Yeah. But right away, man, this is probably actually easily my favorite scent out of the three. I think this was a scent that I think they both did a great job, collaborating on. I don't know exactly how many takes it took for them to perfect it, but I really think that they nailed it on their
Mhm.
final take. I get a good tropical smell with that leather right off the bat, which is very impressive. I really think that they did a great job of making sure that the leather didn't overpower too much. Now, when the tropical aspect of it does start to go away, that leather does stick around, and it does become just like a pure leather scent. So if you're not a leather fan, you're gonna want to stay away from this scent. It's just not going to be something that'll be right up your alley. But for you leather heads or leather lovers, this is definitely something worth checking out for as long as it's available. Not sure if this is going to be a limited scent or if it's going to be one of those collaborations that sticks around for a while. So if this scent is not available by the time you see this video, we do apologize, but we got to show some love for our boy Josh too. So.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and talk about how these felt in our beard and do we recommend the product. So let's go ahead and start off with the oil. It's definitely a lot of good names that you've heard of, but maybe some that you don't see as often, which is really cool. So we have Babesu or Babosu oil. How do you pronounce that second one, Joe?
I'm gonna
Abyssinian.
say
Abyssinian.
Abyssinian oil.
Okay, Abyssinian, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Hemp seed oil, cucumber seed oil, which is one you don't see real often, castor oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil, and then of course a fragrance and essential oils.
Yeah.
So I would describe this oil as a medium thick oil. It's definitely on the medium side, or it's definitely medium, but it's on the thicker side of medium.
Yeah.
My beard absolutely loved it. It really did. Now, as I've said many times, I put heat in my beard every time that I do it. And putting this oil in my, warmer beard from the heated brush, it just felt like it soaked in right away, which was awesome. Lasted the entire day. Before we move on, actually, scent duration. I know someone left a comment saying we forgot that last time. I was getting about 6 to 8 hours out of all the scents, which is really cool. Sometimes that thicker oil does that. It helps.
Okay. Yeah. So I got about the 8 hours definitely out of the Blue Devil because, like I said, that leather really hung around. For me, it was about 4 or 5 hours for the two other scents. They lasted about a half a work day, for me, which is fine. If you're looking for somebody that's more scent heavy, if the Blue Devil's, around, you may want to go that route. So. Yep. All right. And then going on to the butter, the ingredients is shea butter, babusu oil, fragrance, and you also got mango butter, carrier oil, and then the essential oils as well. I totally read that backwards, but
No
that's
worries.
that's everything that's in there for sure.
No particular order.
Yeah, no particular order, I guess. So this is what the butter looks like. You got that nice white color there that I really always like to see. I love that, like that white looking butter.
Yeah, it just looks fresh.
It does. It looks fresh, and when you look at it, it always seems like it resembles some kind of like cleanliness of
Right.
a like a feel and a scent too. But for this is how creamy it is.
Yeah.
Definitely very soft, very creamy, easy to scoop out. And I'll just rub some in my hand there and just a couple of swipes there, and it's completely gone. It by no means leaves really any grit at all, which is really something that's nice and appreciated. And I absolutely love this butter. I think when talking about the scent in the butter and then the feeling of the butter, this was probably my favorite product out of everything. I just think it's really well rounded. The oil itself did feel really good, and I agree with Kyle when he mentions that it's a medium to thicker oil. I definitely found it to be on that thicker side, but it was able to go into my beard quite easily. I felt that my skin really liked it, and it by no means that I feel like I needed to reapply it. My beard is super soft when I had both of these items in my beard.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. Both items for me were great. Loved them.
Uh-huh.
Felt awesome. But when I wore them together, I really, really enjoyed it. For whatever reason, that's what really made it stand out during the day. Wearing oil and butter together, I really liked it. You saw the creaminess that Joe showed off. This butter was really nice. Now, for me, my beard was more sensitive to heavier products. The beard butter for me was on the dense or heavier side,
Mhm.
which is no issue. I just the second time I used it, I just used about half of the amount that I normally would, and it was perfect. No issue. Styled nice, beard felt nice and soft, which helped it sit down. My beard absolutely loved it. I'm with Joe. I think the butter was my favorite product out of all of this,
Mhm.
and my beard just really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I think Sean really nails the feel and beard aspect of it.
Yeah.
I think he does have maybe a little bit of work to do when it comes to developing some sense. So my challenge to Sean when he watches this is, yeah, just challenge yourself, on those scent profiles. Go a little bit out of your comfort box, and don't be afraid to produce something that will really wow folks, because I just didn't get the wow factor in those two main lineup scents.
Mm,
But again, they were still executed well. He played it safe, and for a newer, for a rebrand, I could appreciate that. They're still very much enjoyable scents.
right. So I did not get a chance to try the pine tar soap, but I
Yeah.
know Joe's going to talk with us about it.
Okay, so the pine tar soap is actually it's not made by Sean, and he actually collaborated with a company by the name of the Grandpa Soap Company. And I'm going to just show off the box here because I do have the actual bar soap, but it's in the shower. It's all wet and kind of grungy looking and stuff right now. But the what I know about the Grandpa Soap Company is that they are actually out of Kentucky. And that's what it says on the box there. Other than that, I do not know much else, other than the fact that they really produce a really good pine tar soap. This was one of those pine tars that is not used, or is, how should I say it, is not used for just stripping your beard, but they actually have it labeled as like a 3-in-1 type soap that you can use from your head to your toes. So I actually used it in all aspects. I actually used it on my head hair, of course, my beard, and then I used it as a normal body bar soap, and I really, really enjoyed it. I will say that how it felt my beard, it did do a good job of stripping, by no means was it the strongest pine tar that I've used. There are definitely stronger ones out there. So if you do like a pine tar soap that is going to completely strip everything out of your beard and basically leave your face glistening, you may want to go a different route. But I really like the balance that this soap had. The only thing that I didn't care for it, and pine tar itself doesn't really smell that great to me anyways. This was probably the most least enjoyable smell of a pine tar soap that I've had. I couldn't get into it so much. So that's why I only used it as like a body soap once, but it did get the job done for cleaning out my beard, which is what I would normally use a pine tar for anyways. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, guys. So that is our take on 8-bit. My personal opinion, I think you got to try out this company. I think it's top notch. And I think this is only the beginning. I think 8-bit is a company that's going to be around for a while, see a lot of success. The quality in these products is absolutely there. We're going to throw the link to 8bitbeardco.com below. Make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. Joe mentioned it earlier. Totally lost my train of thought. What you were going to say. Oh, sorry. Joe mentioned it earlier. Please leave a comment below if you've tried 8-bit. It is a relatively newer company. You don't see it out spread in the masses yet, but if you have tried it, please let all the others viewers know what you thought of it and if it was aligned with what we had to say.
Yeah. Really nothing else to say. I mean, I think he's off to a good start. He's got a great theme. I mean, he's very active in the community. He is a great community member as well as a great company owner. I said my spiel. I think he knocked down the feel-in. Definitely a big check mark on there. Presentation, check mark there. I'm gonna not put a check mark by sense quite yet, but I think he's on the right track and he's off to a good start. So I think maybe in a future review, if we do one, which I really hope we get a chance to, I have a feeling I'll be able to check that last box for those scent for that scent. So
sounds good, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all the time that we have for you today. But as always, keep it growing.
And we'll talk to you at the next one. Cousins out.
Game over.